today I'm talking about a period in my life that was really, really challenging and unpleasant and gosh, just very tough. What I learned from that and how it's changed my perspective on the way I experience emotions in general. If you're new here, my name is Matthew and my goal is to spark you to think differently so you can create new possibilities for yourself in your life. This all started about 5 years ago, and basically the way it would show up is that when I was meditating, I would feel these feelings of frustration or ickiness or sadness or whatever, and it was pretty continual. So I was meditating almost every day, and almost every time, not every time, but almost every time, these feelings would just come up and be in my body all the time. And they weren't too overwhelming, but often it was just sadness, like, oh, I just feel sad. So I'd do a retreat and I'd feel sad, and I'd do a 25-minute meditation, I just feel terrible afterwards. The default response with this sort of stuff is to run away and not do it. Luckily enough for me, I had about 3 years of meditation on my belt at that point, and I knew that this was normal. I knew that it's very common when you have done a certain amount of meditation, this sort of stuff is pretty normal. And I talked to my Zen teacher about it, and she said, yep, totally normal. And she really helped support me in how to work with this and these particular sensations and feelings. And basically, the high level of dealing with these kind of experiences is to treat them with mindfulness and equanimity. Don't give them any attention really at all, just let them be there and don't be bothered by them. That's easy advice to give, but it's a different thing to actually implement. And what I found was that what the skill really was to just breathe and just experience being sad, being unhappy, being just discontented or whatever the feeling was. There was never really anything I could do anyway. Like, it wasn't like I'm feeling sad because of something was going on or feeling angry because something was going on. It's just always was just there. As I did this more and more and more, what I noticed was that who I really am as a person, like who I am on a true sense, was completely unaffected by the feelings that I was feeling. So there's this thing I've said a bunch of times, and I'll say it again. There's this true reality that we are really perfect just as we are right now. This is something that I really noticed more and more with these feelings was I felt fine. I felt fine just as I am right now. But there's this experience that wasn't particularly pleasant, but it didn't affect who I was. It didn't affect me. It was just an experience. What it did is gave me the ability to really live much more in the moment. I don't have to be worried too much about the experience in the moment. I can more just have this self-acceptance and this self-love that is independent of whether I'm feeling sad or happy or whatever in the particular moment. And this is completely contrary to the normal way of looking at emotions and experiences. What I see a lot of people do is a feeling comes up, let's say sadness. Even though there might not be a particular reason for it right now, what they do is they go, oh, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and search my past and do a little journey and find something that was a experience in the past that made me sad, and then I'm going to go, okay, well, I must be being sad now because of that experience then, and it's unprocessed or whatever. Then they drag it into the present, they process it, and then, oh, I feel great again. I just think it's completely doesn't match my experience of emotions. The way they are for me is they come and they go, and my job is to be with them and just let them be what they are in the moment. So my challenge to you is, can you just experience whatever it is that you're experiencing, not trying to change it, not trying to make it better. This is not a solved thing for me. I'm constantly working on this. Last weekend or the weekend before, I was having a really challenging weekend. Lots of feelings were coming up. That's okay. This is a journey. What I want to do is be mature about it, not get attached to it, not get attached to trying to fix it, not get attached to it, trying to change it, just letting it be. If you'd like to hear more from me, I write a weekly reflections newsletter which I publish on a Sunday, so subscribe if you're interested in that. There's a link below, and until next time, the journey continues.